English writer J.R.R. Tolkien has said that if more of us valued food, cheer, and song above hoarded gold, it would be a merrier world. I'm Esther Bloom. Join us today as we experience just that in our culinary series with San Diego's opera-singing chef, multi-talented Elizabeth Paziadlo. Welcome back to Pace. It's always a pleasure to anticipate the journey.
Thank you so much, Esther.
I'm glad to be here. Where are you taking us today?
Well, in case you haven't noticed and picked up from the beautiful ambiance, we're going to do a little things with a Latin flair. We're going to sing some songs with a Latin flair, a little Spanish, a little Mexican food here. Otherwise, I think you'll experience what we're going to have as a series of contrasts from sweet to salty to spicy to light and fresh, even a little gazpacho if you come back later, okay? I want you to try sampling these things.
Oh, I'm going to do just that. And while you are fooling around with this colorful array of food, I'm going to retire and come back when the scent of it wafts throughout the place.
Oh, good. I'll make sure and send some your way.
See you later.
Okay, thank you so much, Esther. Well, today I'd like to start the program with a saucy little number called El Vito, and this is a Spanish folk song. It talks about, the translation will be on the website. Maybe I better leave it to that just in case, but we'll go ahead and get out your castanets and prepare to dance with me. All right, hit it, John. Start cooking. I don't know about you, but I've been wanting to do that song all week, so thank you, John. It was awesome. Okay, what we're going to start with today is we're going to make one of my favorite recipes. Actually, it's going to appear in my next book. It's called Lime Chili Frajitas, and what we're going to start with is we're going to get our pan nice and hot here, and when we do that, we're going to saute some onions up, and we're going to add some peppers and get it going there. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm so ready to dance. Now, El Vito is actually a dance done on a table, and who knows, we might just get carried away and do that later. So I'm going to start by cutting up an onion. Oh, I love cutting up. Onions are so sensual, you know. This is the spicy. What they say in one of those movies, you know, I'm complicated. I have like an onion. I have layers, you know, John. Saucy, spicy, all those good things. Onions are supposed to be so good for you. So we're going to go ahead and chop up this onion. We're going to turn on our pan. We're cooking with jet fuel here today. We're going to put in a little bit of olive oil. And what we're going to do is start chopping up our onion like so. Now you don't have to get fancy. No real fancy chopping. I'm just going to do a rough chop here. This is a fajita. This is not so fancy. Okay, and we'll go ahead and put those in the pan and get them going. And another one right here. Ooh. Now I'm going to tell you, this is a recipe that has lots of flavor building in it. And we're starting now with our onions. And I'm going to put in a couple of bay leaves right now. We're going to actually infuse that oil with bay leaf. This is rocket fuel, so I'm going to turn it down so we don't set off the fire alarms here in the studio. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're infusing this oil with a little bit of that bay, a little bit of the onion. We're going to let that cook for just a minute. And then what we're going to do is add some of these beautiful sweet peppers. I've got red and yellow and green peppers in here, and we're going to go ahead and let those start to cook along because we want to get rid of that, the moisture in here, but we don't want to overcook them. Typically, I think I would brown my onions just a little bit longer, get them caramelized, but since we're doing this in a short time, we're going to just throw it all together. But guess what? No matter what we do, it's going to be delicious. And my rule as a teacher of cooking classes here is that no matter what happens, as long as you're willing to eat it, it's a success, you see. So we'll go ahead and add some of these gorgeous peppers. Gorgeous. Oh, let's add the drama. Let's fill the pan so full. Yes, ma'am. All right. We'll let that go. Now, what we've got over here is we've got some chicken tenders, okay? And what this is something that's very important. We're going to create a very simple marinade. And what it consists of is half a cup of lime juice. I love being here at the Pace Studios. It's always very exciting with all the team around, making sure everything is just right. I've got to mind my P's and Q's. So what I'm going to do here is measure my lime into here. I'm using a reamer. This is a citrus reamer, not a citrus lemur. That's from South Africa. No, I'm just kidding. Well, this is South American food. How about South American citrus lemur? Oh, never mind. I better be careful. Esther's going to come back and make me mind my manners. But if I know her, she'll be hungry and maybe she'll forget all my faux pas. So we are using this reamer. Look how gorgeous that's working, getting all that lime juice out. And what you want is you want about a half a cup of the lime juice. Now, so we've got the sweet, sweet peppers, and we've got the sour, sour lime juice that we're going to, so it's all kinds of contrasts here today. Oh, lime's excellent. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little olive oil to that lime juice. We've got about a half a cup. We're adding a little bit of olive oil, and not to worry because we post all these recipes on the show's website, which is atasteoftaste.net. So don't worry if you can't catch everything I'm doing. All right, I always say that cooking is not rocket science. Even if you were to try to make it up, you'd be all right. I'm going to pour this right over this chicken. That was tough. What a hard marinade, huh? Now I'm going to tell you, what you want to do is you want to open up your chicken and make sure it all gets in there. I don't have the right tool, but I don't want to touch my chicken with a utensil I'm going to use for cooking. See how our peppers are doing. Gorgeous, 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 like you wouldn't believe. Now what we want to do is we want to get these to cook down a little bit. And that's going to take a little bit of time. It is only a 23-minute show. This ought to be interesting. I'm going to turn this up, get this going, and we're going to you want this to marinate. While this is marinating, I'm telling you, do not go more than 20 to 25 minutes with this marinade, because if you do, you're going to cook your chicken, it's going to get too sour. Okay, so we've got our peppers sizzling. We've got our chicken marinating. Now we've got to make another flavor building part of this recipe. So we take a bowl, and we're going to make this awesome Southwest spice rub. And in it goes chili powder, salt, cumin, garlic powder. Okay, and we'll stir this up a little bit. And I'll tell you too, make a whole bunch of this and keep it in your cabinet. It makes a great gift. I call it my Southwest Spice Mix, and it makes a great gift. I put it on ribs. I put it on beef fajita meat. Right before I grill it, I'll put a little salt and pepper and olive oil on my fajita meat, and I'll grill it with this on it. If I boil my ribs, pork ribs, I'll boil them, then I'll let them sit and rub it with this and grill it. Oh my goodness, it's fantastic. What a joy. Oh, it's gorgeous, you guys. Beautiful. Now, when you're cooking your vegetables for fajitas, you want to make sure that you don't overcook them. You don't need them to be so soft. Okay? We're going to let those cook for a little bit. Now, let's just say that this has been marinating for 15 minutes. At this point, what we would do is we would take our chicken out of the marinade and we would go ahead and put it in a baking dish. Now, if you want to grill it, you could simply put this in a grill basket, but coat the grill basket with a little olive oil first. So what you would do is you would take a nice baking dish. If you're going to bake this, you can bake it at 350 for 10 to 15 minutes. You don't want to overcook your tenders. 350 is not a high heat. You just want them to get done all the way through. But before, we're not putting them in the oven just like this. It's got the lime juice and the olive oil, but what's missing? I'll show you. We take our gorgeous spread, and this is where you don't want to, you don't want to pussyfoot around here. You want to make sure you got a good bit. So you can totally dunk this in and really coat that. That is going to be one flavorful thing. Now, what if you have a sensitive palate? You don't think you want to go this spicy? Well, just do one dip, rub it around. Okay, it's really entirely up to you, but I promise you, once you taste this spicy, wonderful thing, you will not want to go back to bland. So what have we got for flavor building in here? We've got peppers with a bay leaf in here and some oil. We've got lemon juice with olive oil here. We've got these gorgeous chicken tenders going on here, coated with all these spice mix. So we've got flavor loading all over the map here. And dirty fingers too. Don't let my mother see me do this, because if she did, she would have a cow. Oh, wait a minute. Don't let Esther see me do this either. This is probably not a good thing to do. Nobody will tell, right, guys? All right. Yes, I put spices on my kitchen towel. All right, it's all right. This is looking gorgeous, just gorgeous. Okay. Now watch what I do here. I'm going to take these peppers, and I'm going to put them in this beautiful platter. Now, we are not done with these peppers, okay? We've got stuff to do. We've got some good caramelization, but we got to deglaze this pan, okay? So what are we going to deglaze this gorgeous pan with? Guava juice. A little guava juice, a little Lee and Perrins, Worcestershire. Oh, I better not say that. Worcestershire. Never mind, it's the W stuff. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, okay? A little pepper. Okay, so we're going to let this kind of caramelize out. But you know what I want to put in here is a bay leaf. And I know there's one in here somewhere, but if I go digging through here, that probably wouldn't make good television. So let's pretend I pulled out that bay leaf. Isn't it gorgeous? And I'm putting it in this wonderful guava and Worcestershire. Listen to that. Sweet guava juice, tangy Worcestershire, coming together in this incredible sauce. I mean, it's going to coat all of these vegetables. So what's going to happen is you would reduce this, get a little bit thick, and then what you would do is you would put your vegetables back in. But before we do that, we need to cut up a tomato, okay? Because we're going to actually add tomato to that too. So we'll let that reduce a little bit. Well, I'm going to use this knife, it's sharper. I have another song to sing you today, but it's quite a contrast from the first song I just sang you, which was all happy and dance on the table. The next one's kind of a blues song, sad song. Not too many places to sing it, but I find myself drawn to it. Okay. So what we're going to do is get this ready. This is reducing just beautifully. What I'm going to do is I'm adding my peppers back. Oh, the flavor is incredible. You could smell the studio, that tangy, sweet smell. Well, there's that bay leaf. Okay, we're putting it back. Gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. You didn't see this, right? You guys didn't see that either. You know, there's something wrong with a cook that's too tidy and neat. You got to make a little bit of a mess. I had a party once, and after my party, I had a friend who was a bachelor sitting watching me do all these dishes, and I said, it's just such a mess. And he looks around, and it's late. It's like 1 in the morning. He says, it's a mess, but it's a beautiful mess. I mean, there's no better mess than one that you have after a party. Don't you agree? All right. I did hear you, by the way, when you answered me there. What a gorgeous color. So that coating of the guava juice and the Worcestershire is coating this just beautifully. Okay, we're going to let this cook for a little bit. While this cooks down, what's happening is, let's say we put this in the oven, right? And voila, we pull out another beautiful already baked tray with the coated chicken. Actually, this one was grilled. I like to grill my chicken, but I've done it both ways. I've baked it and I have grilled it. I can actually probably put this right here. All right, so we've got the baked chicken, we've got the fajitas going. Now I think it's time for a song. What do they say when your nose itches? Somebody's talking about you? No. Oh well. All right, are you ready for a little Maja Dolorosa? Very sad man here. Wow, talk about contrast from happy to sad. Well, it is a beautiful song that I love to sing, but there are not too many occasions where I can do that. And you hear the roar of the audience. Well, it's not really an audience, it's the sizzle of my pan, but that will bring on the audience. Just the smells of these things will be bringing on the audience. I wonder if Esther can smell this where she is. See. What I'm going to do while that's happening is I'm going to cheat here. I'm going to take a little bit of these tortillas, put them right over the top here to steam them up. Ah, there you are.
I've been wondering what starts the juices, the hunger juices. I think it's the scent of the wonderful combination of foods that has wafted throughout the place and made me follow it back here.
Little fingers pulling you along, right? Okay, well, what we've got here, I'm glad you could come back because I'm very excited to share this with you. I'm telling you, you make this for your family and they will just think you could open a restaurant on this recipe. You could open a restaurant on this recipe, I'm telling you. What I've done here is I've just kind of steamed these beautiful tortillas a little bit. And what I'm doing here, Esther, is I'm going to pour these beautifully sauteed vegetables with that wonderful reduction at the bottom, that glaze that was made with the guava and the Worcestershire and the bay leaf, and I'm pouring it into this beautiful dish. And I'm going to hide this pan. We're going to put this dish right here so we can see it. And hope it doesn't crack, right? Right. And then we're going to take a fork and we're going to place these beautiful, the baked chicken, the grilled chicken, however you did it, right on top. So when you're serving this to your family, you've got this just like so. It is just beautiful. Do you see this? But that's not all, folks.
Oh my God.
I know, it's terrible, isn't it? I know, corny. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to top this with tomatoes, gorgeous tomatoes. And then, if that wasn't enough flavor for you, we will take a lime and we're going to squeeze this right over the top. Gorgeous, make it all glistening and beautiful. And then we will serve this gorgeous dish. Think that would be something you might eat, Esther?
I could. With a little persuasion, I could.
Okay, what I'm going to do is offer a sample to you. Now, there's a couple ways that we can do this sample. We can either put it on Molly. Come under the cabinet. I know the producer doesn't like that, but okay, here we go. So we'll take a little tortilla. Okay. And we'll take a little bit of this. Now, you know, Esther, I've got a real special Simple Pleasures planned for you later. So I hope that you will come back and watch it. It's something that you would not even think of, I think. So what I've done here, this is too big for you to eat, I think. I want to make sure that you have a dainty portion since you are my
How about if I just
example.
eat the filling?
Oh, all right. I'm going to let you get away with that
Yeah.
because you're so dainty.
Well, you know, fajitas are wonderful in their mixture of things, but I think it's always such a struggle.
You got to
Eating
roll it up.
them.
All right, this is it. I'm giving you permission to just take that whole piece of chicken and nibble off the side. Just like that. She's going to try to cut it.
Okay.
I'll hold it for you.
We just
pick
have
up
to
the
take
thing.
a bite
Take a
and-
bite. This lady could look nothing but ladylike in anything she does. Well, lots of flavor.
Good.
Is it spicy?
A little bit on the tongue.
Here it comes.
I'm very sensitive to that
I know,
sort
that's
of
what I
thing.
was worried about. But you know, you're not turning red, you're not sweating, you look gorgeous. I want the number of your makeup person, that's awesome. So what do you think? Would you make this at home?
Oh, I would.
All right.
Minus the chili pepper, though. I think.
Well, listen, come back after I get the table all cleared off, and I'm going to show you a simple pleasure, one of my favorites, and I hope that you'll try it at home.
Well,
Welcome to the Simple Pleasures portion of our program. A simple pleasure is something, it's just what it says. It's something that is simplistic in nature, doesn't cost usually anything, and brings you pleasure. We have a number of these listed on the website, and we ask you for your ideas on simple pleasures if you'd like to share with people. Today, I have it's not a very flashy simple pleasure, but it brings me a lot of joy, which is, again, part of the description and definition. I'll read this to you. It says, "We hope this note finds you and your family happy and healthy this holiday season. We are beginning our 5th year in Colorado, and I think it is safe to say our transition is complete and we now consider ourselves Coloradians. If you don't recognize what I'm reading from, let me just tell you that this is actually a Christmas letter. And this program is not a Christmas program. It's just that during the holidays, when I receive these holiday letters from my friends, I love them. And I feel terribly guilty. I stack them all in a stack because I just don't have time during the holidays to read them. But I love all these people that they come from, so I never throw them away. Actually, what I do is I have this album, and again, now some of you are much more crafty when it comes to paper stuff than I am. It's just an album. It's a 3-ring binder. And when I get those letters or pictures that people send, now everybody's sending the cards with the letters on it, I put them in this album. I have a handwritten letter from my aunt. You know, for many years, some of them are pretty darn funny. I mean, I have a friend who writes very funny, but Christmas letter or holiday letters, but I just keep them in here. See the cards with friends' photos. Then when it gets hot, when it's in July, I find myself with a moment, even in the garden, maybe sipping a little cold gazpacho, to your health, salud, as they say. That's a simple pleasure too, but that's a whole nother story. But anyway, we're all going to be sitting here in a little bit enjoying these fajitas, and while I am, I'm going to bring this out to the garden, and I'm going to look at my friends and see how happy they are, find out whose child has won what award. I'm one of those weird people who just loves. I like these letters. As far as I'm concerned, the small print gets me. I think if I was going to do this more faithfully, I would put a magnifying glass on a string, so every time I open this book up, every year I get older and this print gets smaller and smaller. But I will enjoy these and get to know my friends a little better at a time when I have some time. So that is my simple pleasure, and I hope that you'll consider this a good one for you, and I hope that you'll visit our website at atasteofpace.net, and you will find the recipes there. You'll find the translations of the arias that we sang today, and the first one's really funny, so you must go and see. And the recipe, and then you'll find a list of simple pleasures that not only are mine, but friends of mine and our viewers who have written in. So don't be shy. Let us know what you think. Watch us grow here at Pace as we continue with this cooking show, and who knows where we'll be coming from. Who knows where we'll be going to at the next cooking show. We might go to France again, or we might go to Germany. Who knows where we're going to go. Maybe we'll go to West Virginia, Appalachia, since that's where I'm from. Anyway, thank you very much for joining us. Try this recipe. Let us know what you think. Thanks so much. Goodbye.